Yeah, I think math and science can be true for the sake of conversation. But Cheek, what do you think on this? Before I get to my many narratives.
Some things can be true, some things cannot be true.
But is anything 100% true?
Yes.
What category of things are?
I like your thought there with math. Like, this is one pen. You cannot argue to me that this is not one pen. It is true. This is one pen.
Yeah. I mean, and I would agree for the sake of conversation. I agree with you. I think we've kind of touched on it in other episodes where like what makes that a pen, what someone told you that's a pen, you know, you're trusting that person. But I think for the sake of this argument, yeah, math, science, that being a pen, this being a beer, Cheek, you being an IPA lover, all those things are 100% true. But I think there is a point where people tend to that 100% truth, 100% not truth on things that aren't true. I want to start talking kind of about, I guess here's another question for you guys. Do you guys view the law as black and white? Is the law, I'm not asking if the law is 100% right all the time, but does the law to you feel like it's a black and white system?
Theoretically, yes, but in action, no.
What do you mean?
Like, there's tons of white collar crime, but blue collar crime gets cracked down on more. Like, people, they don't trace down like where the majority of drugs are. You know, like they cherry pick communities and stuff like that. And theoretically, it is black and white. Like, if you are speeding, I will give you a ticket, but if like some attractive mamas get pulled over and they sweet talk the guy, you know, they give a ticket.
Or daddies.
Yeah, it's a woman
Stop
cop.
being so
and she gets
gender
sweet talked.
exclusive, you fucking ignorant.
But you know what I mean? Like, in practice, there are all these sorts of like cracks, and it's subjective.
Yeah. How about in politics? Cheek.
The law is not black and white. I want to touch on that.
Oh, hit me.
The way that our law system is set up is to be laws are written and then interpreted by the judicial system. If they were black and white, the judicial system would be completely consistent with rulings, which they never are. Therefore, the law is not black and white.
Yeah. I see
the way that the current system is set up.
What do you think
politics?
the common perception of the law is? Do you think you share that perception with a lot of people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think half of all people.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain demographic of people who would say the law is black and white. You do drugs, you're going to go to jail.
Yeah. So with politics, which isn't too far-fetched from laws, do you think black and white thinking for politicians, not for voters, plays into that?
Plays into law at all, or?
No, politics. Not for voters, but for politicians, I should say.
Does black and white thinking play into how our current politicians are? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't being very exact with that question.
Because I think that, you know, you're attracting a specific base of people based on very strong principles. And you're black and white about them. I think that there is a group of people that, I guess it's both. I guess the more I think about it, politicians try to be gray as to attract more people, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a certain aspect of it that like is very much like healthcare should be free. And that is a black and white stance. And seal up the border. And that's a black and white stance. But I think politicians navigate it much more carefully.
Well, that would kind of bring me into the